Hey everyone, welcome back to Immediate Movie Reactions. I'm here after seeing Beetlejuice. This is a movie that after I saw the first preview, I thought, that's not a real movie. That's a joke. That's like Crocodile Dundee Returns. Like, this isn't something that is real. This is the Australian tour sport, again, trying to troll us. But no, this is actually a movie. It's got Winona Ryder, and it's got Jenna Ortega, and Michael Keaton is back as the eponymous Beetlejuice. Which, by the way, the movie is Beetlejuice, J-U-I-C-E, but then throughout the movie, they spell it like the star, G-E-U-S-E, so I don't know what the fuck it is. So I'm going to go with Beetlejuice, J-U-I-C-E, because that's the title of it. And let me see, Catherine O'Hara, is it? Did I mention that? She's back in this. It kind of brings back a bunch of people, and the dad, Dietz, I can't remember his name, unfortunately, right now, and he has passed away since the original movie, unfortunately, and what they do with him in this movie is absolute tragic. It's so ridiculous. Basically, there's going to be spoilers, I'm sorry. He's eaten by a shark, and so everybody comes back to the house for one final hurrah, a funeral to send him off, and then you see his ghost, and he's like got his whole top is bitten off. It's stupid. It's just bad. And so Winona Ryder can see ghosts, and Jenna Ortega doesn't believe her, which I guess it's nice to see her not playing Wednesday, or not playing just the goth chick, but she's maybe the best part of this movie. I don't know. It's really strange. I don't know who this movie is really for, because it feels like this is just nostalgia back to, what was this movie originally, 1987, 89, somewhere about there. Whenever this movie originally came out, the first one, this movie doesn't go very far beyond that. It really just brings back the same things. There's a couple people that I didn't mention in this. Monica Bellucci is in this. Still one of the most gorgeous women in the world, but so fucking pointless. Absolutely useless in this movie. I don't understand. I thought maybe they're going to go into explaining why Beetlejuice is somehow more powerful than any other ghost ever, or why he's considered a demon, or that sort of thing. But there's this whole stupid backstory of him being a grave robber, and then she's like the leader of a death cult, and he chops her up, and now she's come back and kills Danny DeVito, and like so much. I know this sounds completely random, but that's this movie. This movie is completely random. None of it makes sense. There's also another bad guy, some kid whose name I don't know, and I don't care to know, because if I never see him again, I don't fucking care. He is a ghost who has also murdered his family, which somehow in this small town, the Dietzes have never, and Lydia has never heard of. I don't get that whole thing. And Jenna Ortega kind of falls for him, and he basically pulls a Beetlejuice on her, and he's going to switch bodies and take her life and blah, blah, blah. But again, it's all inconsequential, because any conflict in this movie is resolved like that. Willem Dafoe is in this movie. He plays an actor who's an investigator or a police detective in the afterlife for some reason. I don't know. It's not like this is Monsters Inc., where there's 2319 or whatever. There is a code 699, which is how the movie finally totally resolves. I don't know. I guess the best thing to say about him is that he totally hams it up. Like, think Green Goblin from Spider-Man, when, he's on top of the roof and he's like, "What do you say, Spider-Man?" And that's it. It's a character. This whole movie is like a cartoon. The effects are so atrociously bad. There were times in this movie where I felt angry watching it. This is one of the worst movies that I have seen this year. I think it's just terrible. But here's the thing. I'm going to flip a little bit here, because about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way through, we finally meet Jenna Ortega's dad, who has died in some tragic accident, and we find out he's been eaten by piranhas in the Amazon. Now, we know this because they see his ghost, and he's got all those, that game that you used to play when you were a kid, and it had the plastic fish that would like bite up, and you had to drop the little fishing rod into it and try and catch them. That's about what these fish look like. There's another time where Beetlejuice is sitting on a bench, and there's a woman who, like a crazy cat lady, and she's surrounded by cats. but they're not even like CGI cats. They're literally like stuffed animal cats, and it feels like someone is off screen with a string, like moving their tails. It's fucking terrible. The effects are such a joke. The sandworms are embarrassing, and I don't need them to be like. There are some moments that are kind of scary, right? Not scary, but at least graphic, right? There are some really kind of disturbing images, but it's all couched in this animation. Oh my god, there's an animation when they show how Dietz, Charles, I think his name is Dietz, how he dies. It's so ridiculously bad. And then there's another interlude where Beetlejuice is like singing in, I believe it's Italian. I don't get it at all. So here's where I was going to flip, because like I said, about halfway through, when we see the guy with the plastic piranhas hanging off him, like like they're eating him, there's a family behind us, and kids 9 or 10. He says, "That's cute," and so like, I mean, maybe that's disturbing, but I realize, like, this movie isn't for me. This movie is, and no offense intended to anyone, this movie is for those people that are still going to Hot Topic and buying their Beetlejuice gear. Because what's cool about this is, like with Barbie or some of these other big movies, people are dressed up. Like, people are in costume. There are people who really care about this. I don't say franchise, it's 2 movies. I think there was a cartoon at one point as well. But there are people that really care about this and are really invested in these characters. Luckily, now hopefully, they never really explain how Beetlejuice actually comes back. Now he's running some ghost revenge business or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Really, none of that matters. Even the jokes, the whole, all the other characters that are added, they do end everything in a way that you would think that they can't make any more. And my one warning here is going to be, and please, thank you if you've gotten to the end of this. I will say, please like, share, and subscribe, because I always forget that. My warning here is there's a point at the end of the movie where the Dietz are getting on the Soul Train, and yeah, there are disco dancers that are dancing, because that's about the level of ingenuity that we have in the jokes in this movie. They're so obvious and so bad. But anyways, they get on the Soul Train, and they're going to go off into the afterlife, and the screen goes black. Leave the theater. Just get up and go, because the 5 minutes that comes after that is so stupid. Like Bob Newhart waking up and, I had this dream that I had an inn. And like, it's so fucking stupid. I hated it. Even though I had gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what? Actually, I think I kind of like this. I kind of like that the costumes look like they basically just went down to their local, Halloween store and bought the costumes there and said, that's good enough. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't like it. And then it ends. It ends the way it ends, with there's this dream sequence and a baby Beetlejuice and also it's stupid. So don't get to that point. When the screen goes black, leave. Fair warning. So here I am, see it, stream it, or skip it. Obviously, I think if you're a big fan of this franchise or whatever, go see it. I think you'll enjoy it. Otherwise, skip this movie. I don't think that there's any point in watching it. There's nothing new. There's nothing fun. There's nothing inventive. It kills me, because it's one of those movies that as a child, I just remember just loving and the imagination and just thinking, oh my God, what is the afterlife? But they never do anything. The Ghostbusters franchise, when they brought it back, they forwarded the story, they forwarded the world, they gave us new characters, new things to care about. Even if Frozen Empire wasn't great, it still at least tried to do something. This doesn't really. It's just the musical sequences are terrible. The whole music in this movie, other than Danny Elfman's theme, which is like the one thing in this, I'm sorry. It's not a good movie, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I am done. I will see you all after the next movie. I do appreciate you, and, please hit the buttons and all that. And thank you.